Hey folks, getting some links up here and then we will be off to the races. I don't know if my audio is too loud or not. Let's see here. All right. I always misspell live as line, or like it autocorrects to line. I have a real hard time typing on smart devices. It makes me feel very old. Okay, there's one. And you might also notice I have the new issue of the Schlub here. I got my comps today. Very excited. Almost there. Paste. And una más. I will get better at this someday. There we go. All right. Hey everybody. We have a couple cool things tonight. I'm mostly just going to be working, and you know, for a change, it's going to be a lot of pencil work probably tonight, which usually I'm inking. I'm not sure how interesting the penciling will be to folks, but I mean, if you're here, you must be finding it somewhat interesting, I guess. Eli, BMC Comics, welcome guys. Is that our boy? I guess it is. Yes, the fam is feeling better, Eli. Thank you for asking and mentioning that. First, my daughter got sick, and it was sicker than I've seen her in a while. It was like, because usually kids will get sick, but they still kind of just run around and like, just, you know, they're acting kind of normal. But she was knocked out this time. She was just like on the couch, just unable to move, just like crying. It's awful. It was awful. Nobody likes to see their kids sick. So that was a bummer. And then, of course, right after that, my wife got sick. And then on top of that, we had a very busy week. So yes, the last 2 weeks have been kind of crazy. But I did do a unannounced live stream last week to show off the pages of the Schlub issues, issue 2. Which issues 2 and 3 pages just went up for sale. I'll probably do a walkthrough of issue 3 pages at some point here in the near future as well. But yeah, over on TyrellCanon.com, all of the comps that I've gotten, you know, my copies of the book are for sale now, and you can get them signed by me. Although this one's not, because I just got this one yesterday. The Schlub number 4, for anybody, I'll try not to spoil anything, but we do get some more views of Max Terra. I'll show you here on the first beginning. Big splash page here. Roger is in trouble. So yeah, very excited for people to read this issue. It's one of my favorite issues in the series in that it's a kind of a big twist and a big kind of turning point for some of the characters. And so I think if you've been reading the series so far, you're really going to enjoy this issue. If you haven't been reading, now is a good time to get those first couple issues if you can find them and catch up for number 4 and then be ready for 5 and 6 because 5 and 6 are going to be insane. So this is my cover for 4. Something completely different on this one than what I normally do. So it was kind of a challenge. But honestly, I think Stegman's cover for this issue is really nice. Just a character against a white background, great pose, great expression. I think Ryan really nailed it on this one. So he did a very nice cover for this one as well. Kova's Lookout. Love my art. Oh, I'm so glad that you are liking the Schlub. Please do catch up. If you are missing any issues and you can't find them at your local shop, they are available in the Tyrell Canon web store now. So But I also wanted to show off. I got foils and stuff. The foils don't look great on the camera, so. But I did want to show off the Virgin variants. I think they look really cool in this issue. These are, again, kind of incentive covers, so at this point some of these are going to be real hard to find, considering, you know, the few that were printed. But these Virgin variants I think turned out really, really cool. Really awesome. And of course John did his awesome kind of little snapshots background. This issue also introduces one of my favorite side characters to draw. So, man, it's so good. And the last page, oh my gosh, you guys are going to love it. Definitely check it out. All right, so today we're working on a commission. I haven't been working on commissions, you know, because I've been finishing up the schlub, but now I have kind of a few to get through. And they've been really fun. I don't always do them on the live streams, but you know what? I was like, why not? It'd be really fun to check out. So I'm working on a Cable, Bishop, and Wolverine commission. How cool is that, right? How fun is that? Can't complain, man. Can't complain. So we're going to just kind of chip away at this guy for a little while. If anybody has been reading the schlub and has some questions, or if you guys want to go check out the stuff that's over in my shop right now, if you have questions about the new items I put in there, the pages, feel free to ask. So, should be a fun night. I'm hoping to get this to the point where I can put a decent number of inks down and get rid of some of the pencil. I'm not sure if I'll finish it tonight. We'll see how quick I go. But you know, it's not. I just started penciling this maybe like the end of my workday today. Earlier in the day, I was working on some character designs for a new project that I cannot talk about yet. Always got to have a few irons in the fire. So so yeah, just been chipping away at some character designs and then these commissions. And I was having a hard time finding this one, surprisingly, because these are such fun characters to draw that I have a lot of affinity for. I thought it would come really easy. But sometimes when you're doing characters you love, you put a little more pressure on it. Whereas if it's a character I'm not as familiar with, I'm not in my own head about it as much. So anyway, trying some different things. You know, the commissions are a fun place to play. So I'm trying to lately I've been thinking a lot about faces and how I draw certain things, and just feeling like I'm ready to maybe try a few new things in regards to the faces situation. But I'm not quite sure what it is yet. So I've been looking at a lot of different things, trying to just zero in on what I like. So Jeremy, what's up? Hey man, how's it going? Plans for Thanksgiving? You know, keeping it pretty simple. Staying home on Thanksgiving Day with just me and my immediate family. It's our first Thanksgiving, kind of just doing that. So maybe start some of our own traditions this year. And then the day after, we're going to spend some time with some close friends and do a little surf and turf thing. So that should be fun. How about all you guys? You guys got some good plans? I hope it's a good holiday for you. I know some people it's not always associated with the best feelings, so no flack if not. But I hope a lot of you are able to do some fun things and spend time with the people you care about. That's what it's all about. I haven't been on the stream in a minute, so I'm a little blabby. I'll probably have to untape this at some point. I have a hard time keeping the paper steady, like stationary when I'm drawing. And I'm going to actually have to look up some of Bishop's details here. So how do we want his powers to go and stuff? Oh yeah, he's got like a scarf, right? I forgot that last time when I was working on my Inktober of him. I didn't remember the scarf till like right before I started throwing the ink down. And I was like, something doesn't look right, but I don't know what it is. I guess I should give him his like shotgun type thing. Well, Eli, you know whose faces I've been looking at a lot lately are I've been watching a lot of anime, and I'm really into, and I'm spacing on it, but the director's Kawajiri, and the character designer he works with, I'm spacing on the name right now, but Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. So he definitely has a more elongated face than what I typically do, and the eyes are usually a little more exaggeratedly large but thin, and I really like that. And then he does small mouths, which is kind of the opposite of what I've been doing lately. I've always, like the last couple projects, been doing these big, mouths, kind of like Wolverine's here, where there's just like a bunch of teeth and, you know. But I don't know, man. I'm feeling, I want to just try something. I just want to try something different, And part of it is the kind of projects that maybe I want to try next, and part of it is just, it's always fun to just kind of let your style grow a little bit. So I think I've been trying to evolve a lot, and I'm ready to do something a little different there. Of course, no one will probably even notice whatever I'm going to do. I'll try it and see, but it's fun. And then I've been looking at people like Frank Quietly and even Ian Bertram and those guys a little bit that also have a little bit of a distinction to it through the way they draw their faces. Now, I don't want to necessarily do that, because sometimes those guys, and I love their work, don't get me wrong, but sometimes their faces can look a little samey, maybe Quietly less so than Bertram, but the way that they have sort of a style that carries throughout is nice, and I want to find a little bit of that without making samey faces, because something that always bothered me in comics was like how many artists just like change the haircut on the same face, and it's just so, I don't know. It's like, come on, can't you, do something a little better than that? But now that I'm doing it full time, there's a lot of wisdom into simplifying. I get that too. So, but anyway, looking great so far. Thanks, Matt. Neckerchief. Kova's Lookout. What do you think helped you grow your name in the comic industry in order to get to draw the schlub? Help me become a better artist. Well, honestly, the answer to that is probably the same for both in some ways, and that is to try to put yourself out there, do shows, go to comic meetups, try to engage with people online, and the reason you do that is you start to find people that you connect with and that you enjoy talking to and that understand your vibe, and kind of, maybe they like your work and you like their work, or and you kind of hopefully start to get a little bit of a crew of people that you can sort of bounce things off of, and that can become a group that helps you to grow artistically. And then at the same time, if you have a group like that, it's only a matter of time if you're involved with good people for one of them to get some opportunities and to mention your name around, and a lot of it is that kind of, it's like it's who you know, but I'm not saying you need to get to know, quote, the right people. It's more about the right people are whoever you get along with, and whoever you think you have a connection with. And I think if you can find that, a group of peers that do comics, and you can engage with them on a regular basis, meet up with them in person if you can, or online, and show them your work, critique each other honestly, and be not hard on each other, but be honest with what you think people can improve with, and then learn tricks from those people, learn new skills from those people, and learn from looking at their work. And that's sort of what I've done. And I've engaged with the community in a lot of different ways. I help organize a show here. I attend a lot of shows. I've done talks at shows, and through all of that kind of activity, it just helps you have more of a presence in the scene, and then you also benefit as an artist and grow more. Other than that, just draw all the time. That's the other way to get better. Yeah, Victorian style faces. That's a good way to put it. I like that. Yusuke Murata. Yeah, definitely. That's sharp stuff. I just feel that there's something about those faces in those movies that is they look like aliens if you break it down, but you're still able to sort of empathize with them, and they still read as human, even though the proportions are so wonky. And I really like that, and have always wanted to be able to sort of have something like that in my style. I guess I have that in moments, but something where your exaggeration is not taking away from the read on the actual content, you know. I think I'm gonna have Wolverine getting filled full of holes here. What do you guys think? You think that's probably a good idea? Do some maybe half Pearson, half quietly, half Platt. Maybe bullet holes here in Wolverine, and some tings here on him. You know, sometimes it's just fun to draw this stuff. It's like the drawing would probably work without too much of the effects work, but I don't know, something about it just gives me a little bit extra fun when I'm doing this. Maybe give Wolverine some hairy edges here. I kind of like that. I don't like that placement there. We'll do this instead. So just knocking in some shapes and trying to figure out. Some of this I'll leave up to the inks, but some of it I want to have it a little more defined before I get there, just so I can be tactical in the way I ink. So if there's something that's in the foreground or something that is a detail that would easily get lost when I start, I'll do that first. And then if it's in the background, I can usually leave it pretty loose, because you know, I'll just get to that whenever I get to it. You know, it's like the background, it's back there, I'll get to it. Because on these ones, it's really about the characters doing a cool pose. All the other stuff, like this one, is not a storytelling piece per se. The storytelling is just that they're in the middle of something frantic and you don't know what it is, but it's more of like a flourish kind of a piece, I think. Whereas other times I do commissions that have a little more of like a story going on, and those are great. But sometimes it's just cool to draw cool characters doing cool stuff, you know, like it's nice to just do something big and fun and less, you know, it's like you can focus on other things. You can focus on your style instead of necessarily like finding exactly the right angles and exactly the right everything. A hail of bullets, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think commissions are a good exercise because it is a singular piece, and there's things that you learn doing singular pieces that you don't learn doing comics, and vice versa. You know, I think that there's illustrators that don't fully get comics either, you know, because it's just a different skill set. Some bullet holes on his face. There we go. Maybe figure the claws slightly more than this. I change the way I draw his claws every time. Like, sometimes I like the spiky ones that come to a point. Sometimes I like the ones that are a little more like blades, you know? Today I'm in kind of a straight, maybe a straight end here. I feel like I like the way a lot of the different artists draw them, and I don't want to necessarily pick one, so I just change it up every time. I used to always do it the Jim Lee way, where they're kind of like knives, you know, with like a little bit of and they're very flat. Um, but I kind of like Sam Keith. Sometimes I just make them like pokers, you know. Okay. Yeah, I might need to move this a little bit. Scooch in here. Ugh. I have to have my light so bright for the camera, and it's so bright it's like hurts my eyes. But if I don't, I get this weird flicker, which is just a product of me not having a great lighting and camera setup here. So I'll be all right. Go with a crazy eye shine over here. I always kind of liked how it always looked like Cable had sort of a receding hairline, so I like to draw the sort of extreme widow's peak that goes kind of high up on him there. There we go. And hey, why not some bullet shells? You know, this is therapy, y'all. This is like your zen. You find it in something. You know, there's a lot of opportunities for kind of repetition and stuff that are so key to my mental health here. Giving some bazookas or something on his back. And I don't know if I like these shells here. Sometimes it's just a big belt that they put over it on him, but I don't know if I think I need something, maybe some pouches, since I don't have his waist pouches showing here. And you can't have Cable without pouches. So yeah, I like that. There was a couple issues, especially early, I think, in the New Mutant stuff, where Rob's pouches that he drew were a little more like, almost like, they look like sleeping bag material, you know? It's kind of like really, like foldy, you know? Maybe I'll go with some kind of look like that, even though I'm kind of more angular. We should get some. Cable. Who doesn't love the man? Come on. Big boy Cable. Always big boy Cable. Always, man. That's the boy right there. Butta, butta, butta. I'm debating if I should put some sound effects on here or not. I don't know. Might not need it. If you get the energy right, you don't really need sound effects. And I hate to be that guy sometimes, but sometimes I'm just like, just let the drawing breathe a little, you know, don't over emphasize it, you know. I think it's sometimes, yeah, sometimes I prefer less in regards to that stuff, but you know, if I do sound effects, I like them to feel integrated, and that's another thing that's just like a layer that's hard to get to. We're gonna do some muzzle flash here. Maybe like another blast right there. Yeah, there we go. Like that. Okay. Let's. Rough in some gun here. Yeah, there we go. Little booties over here. Another one of his, let's put X's on there, then we can maybe tie them together a little easier. Alright. Yeah, here we go. Okay, Bishop's got like the old mullet. So let's give him that here. But I feel like I got his hair wrong. Look here. Yeah, JR, man. JR is a big influence on me, so that tracks. Okay. Let's find a picture of Bishop so I can just not make the mistake before I get to inks here. X-Men. Bishop. I know he's got those cool lines that go down. Here we go. Hey, look at that. There's a JR one. He always has like a pointy, yeah, a bunch of straps and belt buckles and belts. Yeah. I got you. Let's give him the old X patch right here. We got a belt, of course. Belt. Why wouldn't he have a belt with some pouches on there? And yeah, his yellow lines. Alright, another situation over here. Gloves. And I initially just gave him like a random gun, but he's always got a cool shotgun usually, right? So kind of, I'm going to try to change this into more of a shotgun shaped thing. Maybe some kind of half shotgun thing there. There we go. That kind of works, sort of. That thumb is not there, though. Okay, I get it. Oh. Jerry Curl mullet, yes, the Jerry Curl mullet. Alright, we want some zings and zangs coming their way here. We gotta get some bullet hits on Cable here. Maybe a pating or two on the old arm. What comics or manga are you currently reading? Daniel Johnson's Transformers is really dope. Stegman More Vanish, yeah. Well, yeah, I am checking out Transformers, of course. Always got to support my friends. And Wesley Dodd's Sandman as well, in a similar regard. My friend Riley's drawn that. And it's really some of the coolest art I've ever seen, not just from him, but from anybody. It's a really great looking book. Um, what else am I reading? I do know what Stegman's working on, but I cannot tell anybody. Um, but you'll be happy, I think, when you guys hear what Stegman's working on. What else am I reading? Not much. Not much. Oh, I picked up. Actually, I did like a lot. I picked up. Gosh, what is it called? The Philip Andrade book, Rare Tastes. Is that what it's called? Rare Flavors. That one was really cool. And I got that Bergara book. With like the unicorn thing in it. That was pretty cool too. So I'm checking those out. I'm spacing on the names of both of them right now for some reason. It's always what happens when people ask you what you're reading. You're like, And then of course I'm looking at a lot of just stuff for reference still. So, which is various things. But yeah, Dan's doing some cool stuff on Transformers. As I think no one is surprised to see. Like, what a no-brainer, right? Let's put Dan on Transformers. It's like, duh. Duh. Like, how come this didn't happen sooner? So yeah, definitely checking that out. He's doing some really cool stuff on those pages, and some really great stuff. So I actually haven't picked up my issue 2 yet, so I got to go pick that up. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add Rare Flavors, I think it is, to my poll, because I did enjoy that. The Bergara one is a maybe as well. I'm trying to have a few more books that I'm reading that are current, because I read so much old stuff all the time. I think I'm just making this hand worse. Maybe I'll save that for later. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of times that I'm like only reading old stuff, and I'm like, I should probably know a little bit about what's going on, like in the actual industry right now, as far as like who's who and what they're doing. But you just get in your head with work, and you just kind of lose track sometimes. So this up here too, Stegman and Dan, actually, it's funny, we're talking about them, would say, oh, that's a tangent. You don't want that tangent. And I don't exactly know how I want to fix this tangent yet. I think that'll work. We'll do that. And maybe add I haven't figured out how I want his powers to go. Everybody draws his powers a little different. There's usually some Kirby crackle in there. How do I want to draw him? Maybe I'll just figure that out in ease. Okay, his head does not look right to me here. I think he's got like a... You know what? Even if he doesn't, we're going to give him one of these kind of cool hairdos here. And is his eye... Which one has the M on it? Is it the right eye? I think it's his right eye that has the M over it. So I'm still not quite right over here. The right eye? Nobody's saying. Alright, well, I'll just take a guess that it's the right eye. And if I'm wrong, well, I'll just redraw the whole commission. Alright. I think that's pretty much inkable. I guess Bishop could be getting a couple hits here on the chest. The right eye. Thank you, Eli. Appreciate that. Okay, guys. What do you think? Throw some ink on this? I kind of want some messiness here, so I'll just sort of put some reminders to myself. Bishop looking jacked over here. Cable. Maybe I need to, let's just get a little more pouch definition here so I'm not flying totally blind. Well, I guess I don't need that much. Okay. All right. Let's be brave. See what happens. Yes. Oh, thanks, Eli. Appreciate that. I'm gonna take a water break here. Okay. And yeah, I'll work for a little while here. Might not finish it tonight, but we'll see. I have a date with Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust tonight, so I want to make sure that happens. Bullets everywhere. D fights Meyer on the carriage. Yeah, I actually watched that. I started it last night, and I got to that scene, and that was about where I stopped. And so I'll finish the rest of it tonight. I've seen it a million times. I love it. I was actually trying to get the Blu-ray, but I can't seem to figure out. There seems to be some disagreement about which version looks better of the Blu-rays, but then there's not like any real reviews like other than like customers. I like to go to like a good review site if I'm gonna shell the cash out. But anyway, it's a very fantastic film. A very fantastic film. Yeah, he's got some eye shine going on there. That'll work. Yeah, there we go. There's Cable. I like his little squinty face, you know? Cable's always looking into the sun or something. Well, that's not quite what I wanted, but we'll fix that later. All right. All right. Yeah, I've never read the Vampire Hunter D books. I am trying to track down some of the manga adaptations, but I hear the Marcus brothers are kind of awful in the book and in the adaptation, the manga, like terrible, terrible rapists and stuff. So I like them. I mean, they're still not great people in the anime, but they have some. You can kind of connect with them on some level. Yeah, right, Eli. All right. Oh yeah, there we go. Once that gets erased, that will hopefully pop. All right. Oh, and we were gonna do another. There you go. Get some little zippies here. Like so. I'll have to, well, I guess I won't have. I was gonna say maybe I should check out the book, but maybe I shouldn't if it's not if it's not as good because the bar is pretty high with that movie. I mean, it's not a perfect film, but it's perfect for what it is. It's very dramatic and very operatic, and but it also has all that coolness in it, all that cool stuff. Just like fights and cool characters and really great character designs and a great score and just beautiful, beautiful animation. So what I'm trying to do is figure out a way to get some, maybe do a stream with a buddy of mine, Derek. There's a little test of maybe trying to have a guest on here and there. But don't hold your breath because I'm very slow at figuring these things out. Took me forever just to get anything going. But yeah, that's the goal. Because I don't pay for any software right now. I'd love to keep it that way. So Okay, what was I doing? What else needs these little hits? I guess probably are a good spot to start. Ping, ping. Yeah, the art in the manga, Eli, from what I've seen, looks really, really cool. There's kind of a neat angular look to it, and it's kind of punky in a way. It's pretty great. That was one of the reasons I was like, I'm hoping to snag some at some point. I've got a hookup in Japan that I can sometimes get to send me books, but I try to have like a big list before I ask them to do that because it's a lot to be like, go next week and go the week after and find me all these books. And then Dan was just over there and he was trying to grab me a couple things, so we'll see with the Felix crew. Yeah, there we go. I'm getting shot up here a little bit. All right, lost in the moment there. So, how much further do I need to go here before I'm able to jump to the brush? I might just make that jump right about now. All right. All right. Let's brush a little bit. Whew. I was on the iPad today mostly, working on character stuff. And that actually hurts my wrist more than working on paper. Or any kind of digital drawing usually just causes me a little more discomfort in my wrist. Whereas drawing on paper just hurts everything else. Yeah, we're gonna get these goobery bags on here. Yeah, what are you folks reading right now out there? Anything I should be checking out that I haven't been? Probably a lot. Yu Yu Hakusho. I've never read that. I'm not sure what that is. Is that good? I probably should know, but I do not know that book. Outlaw Star, there you go. Yeah, Outlaw Star, that's good. It's just like, it's not as good as Cowboy Bebop to me. So it's like once I saw Cowboy Bebop first, and that I think was, and it's not like I don't like Outlaw Star, but it's like after seeing Cowboy Bebop, I went back to watch Outlaw Star, and I was like, well, this is cool, but I don't know. Maybe I should rewatch it. It's been a while, and my tastes may have changed. Okay, just kind of trying to follow the muse here a little bit. So we're just trying things and see what happens. I think we'll be nice and bulky here. Calvin and Hobbes, can't go wrong there, man. Yeah, Eli, it looks like we had the opposite experience. But yeah, they're both really good. But I've never read the Outlaw Star manga, so... This is chaos, you guys. This is going to be one of those ones that people are going to be like, what the heck is going on here? That's cool, though, man. I think clarity is important in comics, and I think clarity is important in illustration. But I think that with a singular piece, you have a lot more leeway to just drown people in concept or detail or something like that, because that is the piece. The whole thing is there, and so anything you can do to kind of keep folks looking at it is a plus, in my opinion. That's the kind of stuff I like to see, at least. Clarity is good, but then I think in the long run it can hurt the overall staying power of something. Sometimes you just gotta like let things get a little abstract and just see kind of how it works. Okay. Arcade Kings. Oh, Local Man. I've heard Local Man. That's supposed to be good. Whoops. No one will notice. There we go. All right. Okay. Well, this is definitely going to need a little more of a shape there, shape here. Need some more of this too. I'll save the rest of that. All right, let's get Cable's arm going here. Yeah, there we go. Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. More bullets. More bullets. Bullets. Oh yeah, the bazooka's on his back. Let's knock those in here. Or wherever they are. There's always something. He's always got something. Alright. Bishop. There we go. Man, I still remember how stoked I was when the X-Men animated series did the Days of Future Past, but it was like different from the comic, but it, because it had Bishop in it. Man, that was so cool. You see them all in the future, and you see like Forge and Wolverine's skeleton in the glass and all that. And I was like, oh man, they got everybody in this, and then Cable shows up later. Man, it's so cool. Try something like that. Man, Cable in the Age of Apocalypse? That sounds like a great idea. I'd read that. I'd love to draw that. I'm giving him a full goatee. I don't know if that's how they always do them, but that's what I'm feeling right now. Okay. And now we're going to get this Jerry curl mullet going here. Leave that pretty loose. And I'm not sure if I've decided yet how I want to do the hand. Probably pretty high contrast, but let's just wing it over here on the arm. What do you say? Bullet hit there. This arm I can definitely just define a little more after I erase some pencil. Okay, I had a hand here that was working and I erased it. I'm gonna try to just wing it here. I have kind of an idea. Okay, well, that'll need some cleanup, but you get the idea. All right. Okay. Now's the brave part. What we're going to do is do some erasing here and see if we can find more fun things after that. All right. Just looking for anything I want to save here before I hit that eraser. I think we're good. Oh, that's kind of a cool. Split my brush a little bit, so we'll just take advantage of that for a second. All right. Water. All right. I think after we erase, we're going to do a quick assessment and see where we're at. So, it might be time to get a new eraser out. Let's see if this one makes it through. Well, we'll fix that. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Alright. So as you can see, this is a stage that looks kind of... It's like about getting sort of the main shapes and figures in there. Some of the details, you know, that you wanted to place, like bullet hits and effects, and costume stuff. And then after this, I try to do something where I look at sort of where my black areas will be. And I like to do that after I erase for a couple reasons, but one is just, one of the most basic is that it, then I don't erase over the ink again and dull it even more. I don't mind some dull ink from getting erased over, but I would like, you know, it is nice if some of the areas can read a little more solid. And then it's just, you run less risk of kind of damaging some area that you gotta put ink over it. But this is gonna look like chaos when I erase this. It's gonna be nonsensical, I'm sure. Stegman and I think Dave Acosta both, I think, use electric erasers. And I'm always like, you wimps. And then I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh, jeez. It's kind of nice, though. It's another kind of therapeutic moment, though. Sort of get rid of anything that's unnecessary, simplify. I feel kind of relieved when I get rid of some of the pencil lines in some ways, because then I'm like, okay, you know, this is where we're at. It's here. It's solid now. There's no going back. Because at this point, I sort of already know what I'm trying to accomplish, and I like to do that straight with the ink as much as possible. Getting rid of some of the pencil just helps you see. It helps me to simplify. I know it's funny that I'm saying I'm simplifying here, but like, if I can find ways to simplify, and one of them is just get rid of some of those pencil lines that are making me think I need lines everywhere, and then seeing, okay, do I need to actually do this part or that part? Do I actually need to fill in the details here, or does it work anyway? So I think what I'm going to do is just a quick pass on some spotted blacks, and then I think I'm gonna finish this one tomorrow, guys, because I don't want to rush it, and because it is a commission, and I do care very much about my commissions, and I try to make them special for each person, and so I will definitely not rush this one. But getting this live energy is always fun. It's fun to have you folks watching and asking questions and stuff, and cheering on the process here. Makes the commission a little bit better, I think. So again, just trying to knock in some areas that will be maybe best to be blacked out. Spotting my blacks, as they say in the industry. Actually, not even the industry, just in the medium. Okay. All right. Yeah, Eli, thank you. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Sometimes I never know. I'm just like finding it as I go. So Wolverine needs some across here. I want to try to take advantage of the recognizability of some of the characters so that you can play a little bit faster and looser with some of the costume elements and the details. I think most people recognize Wolverine with very little information, so try to use that to my advantage here. All right. Bishop usually can do a lot of dark on this blue of his outfit. Kind of the old blue is black trick, which I absolutely love. Let's try that here. Okay, yeah. Keep that shapey down here. Like that. All right. Eli. Jujutsu Kaisen. I have not watched that. I need to check that out if it's got good fights. I love a good fight scene. I'm a sucker for it. Is it streaming anywhere? Let's check that out. All right, I think we're gonna call it here, and I'll finish this one up mañana during my work day. But if you guys stay tuned to my socials, you'll probably see this one popping up soon. The Schlub number 4 is out, so please go buy it. I am very proud of the work in it, and it's a fun book, and that just makes me some money. So it'd be great if you guys would go buy it. But for real though, I really hope you can go check it out. And we'll see what happens with Wolvie and Bishop and everybody here shortly. But again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I will hopefully be back again next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday, whether you celebrate it or not. Or however you celebrate it. I hope that you enjoy it and enjoy having some time with the people who matter most to you. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.